Hello, good evening, and welcome to the show. This is The Couch. My name is Pratt, and I'm excited to come your way this Friday with another personality profile edition of the show. It's been an amazing week, hasn't it? Amazing week. Lovely things, amazing things. You know, listen, once we have life, we have hope. And once we have hope, I think we have everything. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. My guest for tonight, this particular interview I've been meaning to do for a while now. I've been chasing this guest around, and he's been serving me small. But today, he has honored my invitation. Oftentimes, we say that young people should be given opportunities of leadership. It's a conversation that, you know, all of us have consistently. We say that it's time to give the young, vibrant people opportunities, you know, to also come in to service and give us what they've got. Now, this is one such young people who got different kinds of opportunities and has done with it what he has. I don't want to say too much, so I give it away. So when I tell you that this is a show you are going to enjoy, believe me. Let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I'll introduce my guests for the evening. Stay with us. Welcome back to the show. My guest for this evening is the Honorable Collins Adomako-Mensah, MP, still MP for Afigya, Kwabre, North Constituency. Honorable Akwaba.
Mirasi, yenya.
I
think come to you. I think it's near to come now. Your bumpire. I'm happy to be here also.
I'm happy to have you here. I've been chasing you around for a bit.
Yes, it's been difficult. The timing has always been a problem.
Right.
And you know, Fridays are normally jet off to the constituency.
Yes.
And so it's been always a challenge to have me on Fridays.
But I'm happy that I have you today. I'm excited that I have you today.
Absolutely. I'm happy to be here too. Happy to be here.
You want your seat?
Yes, I did.
You made it.
Yes, I did. Considering the tsunami that occurred.
You made it.
Yes, it was a tough election.
Right.
But first of all, let me say thank you to my constituents. I mean, they've been amazing. I've served them for 4 years. And I think me winning the seat again is an indication of an endorsement of what I did within the first 4 years. I know I could not have achieved, or I didn't achieve everything. But of course, I think I discharged myself quite creditably. It was not a result that we expected, obviously. Even in my constituency, we normally will win by about 10,000 difference. 10,000. This time when I won with 3,000.
3,000?
3,000.
Wow.
Fortunately or unfortunately, quite a number of our constituents did not turn up to vote. But I'm happy the parties has instituted a committee to investigate what actually happened. And then I think on the basis of that, we can see the way forward. But first, I'm happy to be back in Parliament to serve them, to serve I call them my employers, because they have given me a job to do for the next another 4 years.
Right.
And I'm sure what I gathered in this election is that you should never take your constituents for granted. I mean, they watch, they listen. I tell you, I went to the market one time, And then in one of my usual unannounced visits, I normally go there to just ascertain, get a feeling of what is going on the ground. And I met a lady who was explaining to me why the prices of cassava had gone up. And the method with which she explains to me how she came about the new pricing, the fact that she factored into her pricing her transportation costs, the distance, the work ethic, the number of people she has to employ, and all that, tells me that this is real economics. I mean, all the things we were doing in class, elasticity and everything, the woman just explained the entire economic 4 years that I did at university within a space of 10 minutes. And it tells you that these are, you may see them as not academics. They didn't go to school, but they really do understand the basics. And so normally when you take them for granted, it becomes a challenge. And that's something that I've learned very, 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 very quickly. And then I always say what a woman told me before I won my first election. I said, in tree, meaning I'm not giving it to you as a gift, not a dash, but I'm just giving it to you for a certain period.
Like on a loan.
Absolutely. And that at the end of the 4 years, you have to come back, justify why I should give it back to you. That was very instructive at the beginning of my career. And so that has always been my guiding principle, that no matter what I do, where I go, what I say, Maame affirm me, and I have to go back to justify why you should give it back to me again.
Like a contract, you
Absolutely.
need to renew.
Absolutely.
And keep
Absolutely.
going.
So you should always be mindful of that.
You said something that has become a very popular phrase about the electorates not showing up. Do you think that if they had shown up, you would have won?
Well, for my constituency, let me speak to my constituency. Typically it's an MPP stronghold. So statistically, I mean, you can easily draw inference that if 10 people, you ask 10 people about their political preference, at least 6 of them should tilt towards the MPP for my constituency. So ordinarily, if 10,000 people fail to vote or come out to vote, it is fair for you to infer that 60 to 70% of that 10,000 would have come to vote for you. I mean, this is a very statistical inference. Of course, it's not always the case. It is possible that those who you envisaged to come vote for you could have changed their mind along the line. But as I said, a typical constituency like mine, where ordinarily 70 to 80% of the people are pure MPP, because the results over the years have shown that we make around 65-70% of the votes. So you can easily tell that if 10,000 people didn't come to vote, 7,000 will be your vote. So, but the people not turning out to vote is also a decision.
Of course,
it's a vote in itself. It's a vote in itself because they may typically not like NDC, but they are also not happy with what you have done the past 4 years. So they decide to stay off. That in itself is a vote. And so my duty now is to work harder to convince them that going forward they should come now and vote, and not to stay out and not participate in the process at all.
Does it feel different being in the majority and being in the minority? Now they are teasing you all that you're in the micro minority.
It is.
Is there a difference in the feeling?
There's a difference.
Explain that to me.
There's a difference. I mean, the standing orders of parliament are quite clear.
Right.
Majority chairs committees. Most of the committees are chaired by the majority side. So the first thing that struck us is that you guys are not going to majority chairpersons of committees. You are not going to ranking members. Now in parliament, the new standing orders gives a quota system. So the number of members on a particular committee is determined by the quota, the number of MPs in the house. So now that we are just 84, 85 or 88 and we are way above 183, you have to strike that percentage. So maybe a committee of 16 people, you can have 10 of them being NDC and just 6 being MPP. So obviously there's always a problem. Of course, you need about more than half of the people in parliament to take a decision. Now they are more than half. So typically, they don't even need us to come to the house. They can still take decisions. There are certain decisions that you need 2/3. Now that the independent candidates have formed alliance with them, they could also take those decisions without our inputs. But of course, Parliament does not work like that. Parliament always works on a consensus basis. So although they have the numbers, I know that they wouldn't want a situation where their decision will be like, yeah, and these people say no. Yeah, because then it gives us the opportunity to also go to the media and be saying all kinds of things. So they always have to find a way of building consensus. So yes, the feeling is different. Even the sitting arrangement is different. So, but that's how politics is. We have to find a way. This is the first time my party has been in opposition. We did not envisage that we are going to go back to opposition just now. But that is the beauty of politics. I have always said that I was very excited when I saw the former president and the current president doing a tour of the Jubilee House. And don't forget that 5 days or a month before that beautiful picture, the ex-president had told the current president that he was not going to be a president again.
No way.
Yes. So here we are. It tells you that the power actually belongs to the people. Politicians are just we are here because of what the people decide on what we should be, and that is why I always say that power should humble you. Power should make you sober. It should give you a more sober reflection of issues, because the people who give you that power have the power to also take that power from you, and then this is what has happened.
Wow. So I mean, even walking in the corridors of Parliament, that does it. I want actuals. I want to know how that feels. Will your office change for one?
No. All members of Parliament have the same offices.
So once you go in, if you are there for 20 years, it will be the same office you're going to be in.
No, it's not always the same office. When I went to Parliament, typically the majority side were on the west wing of the Job 600, and the minority were on the east wing. This time around, I think they've just agreed to maintain us, keep it where we were, and then of course, because of our numbers, some of them will come to the west. Obviously, will come and join us at the west wing. But normally, at the end of each 4 years, there is a process of changing officers. Because some members of Parliament would have left, others would have become more mature. So you're a third term, a fourth term. So you are taken to a more bigger. So those are things that we understand within ourselves or amongst ourselves how it works. But this time around, we're given an opportunity. But I decided to stay in my office at the West Wing, and everything is fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah. It's fine. It's so interesting for me.
Yes.
To finally find yourself in a minority.
And, the majority now must also understand that just as we've been reduced to a minority, if they do things that the Ghanaian people feel are not right, they could be where we are now.
Let me ask you a personal question. Do you think that we got it right? We the voters, do you think we got it right? Do you think that we made a sound decision?
It's a difficult question for me. I don't normally question the decision of electorate, but I campaigned on the MPP's platform, and it will be disingenuous on my part to say that I knew we were going to lose, or I feel that the electorate were right in taking us out. No, I was very hopeful that we're going to win. I campaigned very vigorously in my constituency. I campaigned for my presidential candidate. I was confident we were going to win, but ultimately the decision lies with the electorate. As to whether they were right or wrong, I don't want to go that tangent, but that is their decision, and we must all respect that decision. And that's it. I don't intend to decide whether it was right or wrong. But what I can say is that it is their decision. We respect that decision. We've heard quite a number of things that they felt we did wrong. It's important as a party we take all those criticisms in good light, try as much as possible to restructure our base, restructure our political party, and come back stronger.
Final question on this one. I want to quickly go into your childhood. I'm so fascinated by the childhood, but I mean, it's been a couple of weeks. You know, we've seen, it's been an active few weeks for Parliament. Yesterday I spent the whole evening watching, all of you, on the floor debates and things like that, there's been the appointment committee so far. Do you think that your side is living up to expectations? First of all, let me rephrase the question. First of all, what do you think the best posture for your side should be? Number one, in this situation where you find yourself suddenly in this minority, right? Knowing that the voters were not too happy with you, what do you think should be your positioning or your attitude towards your new role? And do you think that you are doing that?
Well, first of all, what is the work of an opposition MP? It's basically to criticize, to put the government on its toes, basically. I mean, our job is to pick the manifesto of the NDC, scrutinize it as against their performance, basically. Of course, our attitude and our posture should be very sober, but we should not think that because of our numbers we should be coyed into being quiet or something. No, we should as much as we can point to the government in power on issues that they had promised to do. The Maame promised, His Excellency promised to finish his cabinet nominations within 14 days. As at the time I checked yesterday, he's been able to do so. So we take so. It's important that once he does that, we commend him for that. He says he wants to do 60. Now he's at almost 45. 42. So he's left with about 18 to go. What it means that not all ministries are going to get deputies. How is that going to play out? Which of the ministries are not going to get deputies? I've seen some very interesting nominations. Minister in charge of special initiatives, Minister of State in charge of climate change. Maybe going forward they will explain to us what that means, because especially when they criticized when Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo appointed a minister for special initiatives, and there are videos where the venerable Haruna Idris was on the floor arguing very forcefully that this was a very useless ministry. So now if you come back to government and you also appoint a minister of state in charge of special initiatives, and you appoint a minister of state in charge of climate change and sustainability, when there's a minister of environment, science and technology, there's a minister of lands and natural resources, it gives me an opportunity as a minority to question the motive of that appointment. Are you just giving appointment to job for the boys, or it's just to fulfill a certain balance or anything? So this, I think that as minority we should be able to point out, but we should do so in a very decorous manner, devoid of insults and all those things. But yes, we should be vociferous. I think the initial budget of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will tell us exactly the focus of the government. I mean, the budget is a very important document. It will tell us how much they want to spend on education. It will give us an indication how much they want to spend on health. Once I get to know the budget and you say you've allocated 1 billion or 200 million to a health, immediately it tells me that you are not prepared to complete all the other project that was left out, because obviously the 200 million cannot complete them. So I have always said that my criticism will start, or my scrutiny will start, after the budget has been presented.
You are doing the waiting game.
Yes, because then it gives you an opportunity to see the focus of the government. It tells you where they want to place more resources, what they want to do. Of course, we'll be doing so concurrently with the manifesto that they presented to the Ghanaian people, that the Ghanaian people bought into. We'll be looking at all that. Now he says he wants to take away e-levy, he wants to take away betting tax, all the other taxes. That will create about 9 billion or so hole of revenue loss. How do you fill that gap? Are you going to bring new taxes to fill that gap? Are you cutting expenditure? What expenditure are you cutting? Are you cutting expenditure on free SHS? The minister designate talked about a review of the free SHS, and that is going to be a consultative meeting to review it. I've had very senior members of their party talk about the fact that now borders should even pay their fees, only day students. These are all discussions that will come up, and I'm sure the budget will give us an indication of how they intend to implement their policies. It's at that stage that you can easily do a very critical analysis of the issues. But let's wait and see. It's early days yet. Ministers are now assuming office. I'm sure Atofosin, my very good friend, will go to the office today as a minister. John, Jinapo, and co. who assume office as ministers. Let's see how it goes. But I wish them well. It's Ghana. I mean, I'll be happy if the lights are kept on, just as we left it. If the lights are kept on, I'll be happy.
Just as we left it?
Absolutely.
The lights were on
Absolutely.
when we left? Honorable.
Absolutely. On the 7th
but the lights were not on.
It was on. It was on. On the 7th of January, when John Jinapo said, we have just 5 hours of fuel left, he said, "C'est doom so bad. You shouldn't blame them." So he knew on the 7th that there was no doom so.
Oh, but Honorable, we are all in Ghana.
Oh, please. We are all in Ghana. I
Yes,
also live in
Honorable,
Achimota.
we are all in Ghana.
I also live in Achimota. My lights are on. On the 7th, my lights were on.
Before then,
My lights were on.
the months
Of course,
leading up to...
there are reasons why lights go off. They could be technical, could be financial, or it could be anything. So if Abiling is off, that is not doom so. That could be a very honest technical problem with a transformer.
Then there were a lot of honest technical problems
The point I'm making
leading
is
up
that,
to...
the point I'm making is that the doom so we experience under His Excellency John Dramani Maame in his first term, as against the intermittent ones we experienced under Akufo-Addo, even the first 4 years of Akufo-Addo, everybody will attest that was a very smooth process. Very smooth process. It was the second term that you realized that there were some flip-flops. But that everybody knows cannot be equated to the 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. one that we experience. So yes, I hope that he keeps the light on. I hope that my brother keeps the lights on and not begin to blame, just as he tried to do on the 7th. And that was a light of bar blame Akufo-Addo. Yeah, he said 5 hours from January 7th. Today is 22nd. 5 hours later.
And so and so yeah, two questions. One, do you believe His Excellency about wanting to have a legacy tenure? That he's going to use his tenure as a legacy?
See,
You know,
Mr. Mahama,
do you believe that?
Mr. Mahama, His Excellency, has nothing to lose.
Right.
He's in his last term. He has 4 years to go per the constitution. It will be good for him to use the 4 years as a legacy term. It will be good for him. As to whether he will be able to fulfill that, that's a different conversation altogether. Because I know, you see, when he said he was going to take 60 ministers, the constitution says you should have regional balance. Constitution says you should have
Gender balance. Affirmative action.
You should have more than 50% from parliament. You have 184 members of parliament. Let's take it to 50%. So 30. What it means that out of the 184, only 30 can be ministers. You need to have a gender balance. So let's take it Upper West. Adongo comes from Upper West. Rashid Purple comes from Upper West. Dr. Ayene comes from Upper West. James Agalga comes from Upper West. These are your ranking members who have served as ranking members for the past 8 years. But you are constrained to pick just about 2 or 1 from that region because of the regional balance. So obviously you are going to have a challenge. Challenge of betrayal. Some will feel betrayed after serving the party for all these years. Some will feel betrayed. Apark is from the same constituency, same area. So you have that kind of challenge. It's a very difficult thin line. And that is where presidency becomes lonely. When everybody leaves you, you have to sit and decide on the dynamics. How are you going to please your friends from the voter region? Today, Bole Bamboy, a few days ago, Bole Bamboy is on fire. People are fighting. Why? Because they are member of parliament who had been a ranking member on the trade committee for the past 8 years, did not get the opportunity to become a trade minister. Whole West, Bejia, very excellent gentleman, is on fire because his name did not appear. So you are going to have this kind of challenges. How he manages that challenge, that kind of disappointment within his party, is another case altogether. Now he has a challenge. Their party from next year will start elections, internal elections. there will be jostle for power. Who replaces him? Who he hands over power to? He has to manage that process, the internal party wrangling against the governance system. So I wish him well. I know it's not an easy job. It's not 4 years. Today is 22nd. January is off. Right next to January, we're going to February. We have 11 months to finish the year. But to December, so then 1 year is gone, and then the 4 years is almost up. Don't forget that the third year of every political life is an election campaign has started. So let's see how it. But I you see, if he leaves a legacy that would be to the benefit of Ghana, why not? Why not? We're all Ghanaians. I'll be happy about it, although he does not belong to my political party. But I'll be happy about it. But let's see how it goes. As I said, it's different from saying it and actually doing it.
People are really criticizing the Honorable Afigya markings. You know, even I have had moments where I'm like, calm down, right? Do you think? I mean, I know you say no, but isn't he doing a bit much?
Well, it's interesting you say. You know, I will say no. You know, Afigya markings as, and I mean, let's be frank. This is a young man, 46 years, who has risen very quickly within the ranks, became a deputy majority leader, became a majority leader, and now the minority leader. Being a majority leader and a minority leader are totally different. Totally different. Now he has to be seen to be combative but respectful. He cannot be a minority leader that is lame duck, that is just
there.
Not there. No, he cannot. So a few days ago, when the business statement was read and Ato Forsen did not mention anything about the Obuasi killings, the minority leader had to get up and speak. Because now, when you're in the minority, you speak for the masses. He had to prompt him that in the following week or in the ensuing week, because of the urgency of the matter of Obuasi, it should have appeared on the business report, so that we discuss it as part of the business for Parliament. So yes, people have their own rendition of who he is. I've had a personal relationship with him. I think he's a fantastic guy. I think he has learned very quickly. I mean, he's understanding of the standing orders. I mean, I always thought it was going to be difficult to replace Chairman Sabonsu, but I think Afigya is gradually fitting in quite well. Yes, he's a human being. He has excesses. I mean, even me personally, sometimes I feel that let's go, Afigya, let's go. But sometimes, if you take your time and you listen to him, he always wants to be on record. Let this be on record, that this is what happened a few months ago and this is what is happening now. So I think he's warming up into the minority role.
And this is only warming up.
Oh, he's warming up.
Okay.
He's warming up into the minority role.
This is warming up.
He's warming up. And I'm sure if there are some excesses, he's going to quickly correct it and then move on.
And then we go forward. I mean, just sitting here watching you, listening to you, it's something. It's something. You represent youth, you know, in leadership, and it's something that all of us are excited about, regardless which side you're on. The point is that there's a young, vibrant, intelligent, able person, you know, on the team, and all of us are interested to know the journey. So let's take it all the way back into your childhood.
Yes.
Where did you grow up? Yeah. You know, what did you want to be when you grew up? Where did you go to school? This one I literally write myself to ask myself.
So I was born to my two lovely parents. Afigya Kandapa, my mom, and then my dad, Stephen Opon. Now, I was born in my constituency. I was born in Amwakun. My mom comes from Mase. Bormai happens to be the district capital. And it's a town close to Bormai called Mase. That is where my mom hails from. Now, typical of Ashantis, we are matrilineal. So I come from Maase because of where my mother comes from. Now, unfortunately for me, at a very young age, around 2-3 years, my mom and dad separated. So I didn't get the benefit of a father, a father figure guiding me at a very young age. I happened to find myself in Accra because my uncle, that's my mother's brother, had decided to bring his siblings and their mother to Accra when he returned from London after going to school. So that's how come I came to Accra. So I came to Accra as a very young boy, and then we first stayed at Asylum Down.
Which of your uncles?
My uncle is Honorable Kandapa.
Right.
So we lived at Asylum Down, and then from there we moved to Dansoman. In fact, it was in Dansoman that I had my formative life.
So Asylum Down before
Dansoman. And I lived all my formative life in Dansoman. So I attended Jesus is Alive Preparatory School in Dansoman.
Is it still there?
It's still there.
Wow.
I go there sometimes.
Wow.
It's still there. In fact, when I was going for my vetting during my ministerial appointment, they had to go back to my school to find out the normal investigation about you, to check up on me, and I needed a testimonial or a document from them to confirm my time there. So it's still there. The school is still there. So I did my formative years in Dansoman, grew up there, and then I attended the Presbyterian Boys Secondary School, Presec. Yes, Legon. This was in the year 2000. I entered in the year 2000 and then finished in 2002.
Did you choose Presec?
Absolutely. In fact, originally I wanted to go to Infantsipim. I always loved Infantsipim. And then my mom was like, Infantsipim is too far. It's in Cape Coast. I cannot visit you all the time. Especially as a single parent. I can't visit you all the time. So pick a school in Accra. Then I chose Achimota because I love Achimota.
So first choice?
No, I told her that I wanted to go then Achimota. I said no, she doesn't like mixed school. She wants me to go to a single sex school.
Why?
Well, that's my mom. Then I said, okay, if that is the case, then Presec and Accra Academy. So I chose Presec first choice, and then I did Accra Academy, and then my last one was Labone Secondary School. Those are the three. Yes. Fortunately, the result was good. So I got the privilege to enter Presec. First choice. I originally wanted to be a doctor, so I wanted to do science, but at the time Presec, the competition was crazy
for science.
And I got 8 A's, if my memory is
8 ones.
8 ones. 8 ones and 2 B's. What is that, grade 6, which was good. But Presec then was 9, 10, so I did not get the opportunity to do science. Then they gave me agric, and I will never forget this moment. I went to my mom and I said, oh, Mom, I'm agric. And you know, my mom is a typical Ashanti of a village. I said, you know, she just did not understand the concept of agriculture. Her knowledge of agric was her time in the village where she walks 10 miles to the farm every day. Right. So she just couldn't understand why her son that she's brought to Accra, gone to school, intelligent, now wants to go and do farming, back to her primitive life. She just couldn't understand. So she said no, then I should do business.
So you didn't do that?
I didn't do that. Great. So then I had to opt for business. But indeed, after the first term, I was happy I did business. You know, I got excited. And then the science guys I didn't like them. They were just too book. So I thank God I didn't go that path. You know, it gave me an opportunity to do my extracurricular activities and all that. Yes. So I did business in Presec.
Right. And
I was a sports guy. I was a sports prefect. I was the captain of the Presec soccer team. Indeed, during our time, that was when Asamoah was at Accra. So I used to play with Asamoah doing interco.
Wait.
Absolutely. Asamoah was then at Accra Academy. He had also entered the same year I entered in 2000. And then, so was as captain of the soccer team, we used to play interco. But he was very good. I mean, he was playing cool soccer before he came to school, so he was very good.
Wait, you used to play soccer?
Yes, so I'm coming. So I became the captain and the sports prefect at Presec. Then I got a distinction during the SSC, so I got a chance to do business, the business school and University of Ghana. I was
admin,
yes, affiliated to the greatest hall of all time, Commonwealth Hall.
I knew you were going to say that.
Absolutely. I mean,
no,
how do you go to university?
Volta.
Okay.
Let's not do this. Let's not.
No, Volta and Commonwealth Hall. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
You are girls, so that's fine. That's cool. Yeah. I mean,
no, you are boys.
Yeah, yeah, boys. No problem.
Okay.
No, you don't have a problem. I mean, I then I call University of Ghana. I will call for next animal in some way. You know, excuse me, forgive me, my friends. You know, so I affiliated to the best hall, Commonwealth Hall. Then we have what we call the freshers games. Then I went to play. Then the hall master saw me and said, you are good. So I then didn't have a room in Commonwealth Hall. So they decided to give me
in.
Absolutely. They decided to give me a room in Commonwealth Hall. Then before I left the university, I became the captain of the University of Ghana soccer team. Yes. I became the captain of the University of Ghana soccer team. I love to play football, and I was that good, very good. In fact, a lot of people felt that, but for my academic stuff, I should have ventured into
football.
Yes, football.
Wow,
yes.
I never would have guessed.
Yes. So that is about my education, Presec.
But you yourself, did you want to pursue football?
I love football. In fact, I got a scholarship when I was in level 300 to go to Virginia Tech University in the US. The full scholarship, sports full scholarship. The only thing was that they wanted me to start level 100 at the university. My uncle was livid. It was what kind of
third year?
You have just 1 year to finish university. Why do you want to go and start all over again? Yeah. So
full scholarship.
Yeah, full scholarship. And yes. Because academically, I was not.
Let's talk about that. We haven't spoken about the courses you did in the university.
So I was in business school.
Oh yeah, you already did.
Business school, and then I majored in banking and finance.
Right.
And so afterwards, I chartered as a chartered banker. Then I did my master's in finance, and then just 2 years ago, I did a master's in economics. So I've been a business finance person all my life, and
wow.
Yeah, so that's how
I have one question.
Yes.
I mean, did you always look like this? Were you skinny? Because
yes,
for an athletic.
Yes, I was not as bloated as now. You know, because of course now I don't play football. Now I play only on weekends.
Now you look like the big man that you are.
I play only on weekends. Only on weekends. I play only on weekends. But yes, so Abelempe. You know, I came to live in Abelempe.
Yes.
From 2000, I live in Abelempe all my life. Yes. From 2000 to this. So still I come to Abelempe almost every evening. Because almost all my friends
I have heard.
Yeah,
I have heard that. I've heard.
All my
friends. You're always in my hood.
Yeah, almost all my friends are in Abelempe. So I come to Abelempe quite often.
Right.
Yes, so my life has been very simple life. But of course, I've had a lot of people who have contributed immensely to my life. Of course, my uncle. He brought me to Accra, you know, took care of me through school from kindergarten to university. Wow. Yes.
That's your father?
Yeah, kindergarten, university.
Wow.
And then when I was in JHS, my mom remarried my stepfather, and in all honesty, I wish he was my father. Oh. Yes, my stepfather is one of the best people you can ever have, Mr. Efukok Pipiche from Vakpo. Excellent stepfather by all standards. He never made me feel like a stepson, you know. Always supporting me. He took me to school, and when I was going to Presec, he was the one who took me. And I remember this day when I got Presec, they made me a day student. Presec, the first 2 days, and my stepfather realized I was not happy. I mean, anytime he comes home, he realized I was moody and all that. I don't know how he did it. I mean, Presec reopened on Monday. On Friday, he came home with chobox and everything, and I asked why. He said, "Oh, Yanko." How he did it, I don't know. He got me to the boarding house. Yeah, so Mefo is a fantastic human being. He's a human being, you know, and I'm always proud to mention him anywhere I go. As a stepfather, I think he did. But the stories about stepfathers and stepmothers normally are not quite interesting. But Efo is different. He did very well. He did very well.
Have you ever had a conversation with him to find out, why? Maybe what's his philosophy? Why was he different? Have you ever?
He tells me that he saw something in me. He realized there was something. I mean, in Peninfo, they have this instinct. Interesting. When I was growing up in Dansoman, my nickname was Assemblyman. Because of football, I was always playing football, so I was always in the hood. Assemblyman. That's how I used to be called. Then I became Assemblyman eventually in 2010.
You actually were Assemblyman?
Yes, I became Assemblyman in 2010 eventually, and then.
No, I need to hear this full story. I need to hear the story in full. But let's backtrack a little bit. I want us to talk about your career, because you worked in the bank.
So, right after school, I did my national service with Sterling Financial Services, which was a finance house. Whilst there,
This is what year?
This was in 2007. I finished school in 2007.
Right.
So I did my national service in 2007, 2008. Whilst there, I started to write the CIB exams, which is the Chartered Institute of Bankers. So by 2010, I had chartered. Then the CIB has a program, new chartered bankers. In order for you to gain experience with the banking sector, they assist you to gain employment with any of the banks. So I got opportunity to work with HFC. HFC, I spent just about 3 months. Whilst there, I had already gone for an interview at Fidelity Bank. So while I was working at HFC, which was more of a preparatory grounds for me and all that, I got a call from Fidelity that my interview had gone on well and that I should come for my appointment letter. So I had to respectfully decline the HFC offer and then join a Fidelity Bank. So in fact, I worked with Fidelity for close to 4 years. In fact, that's where I cut my teeth, my banking teeth from. So that's why I started.
As what?
I started as a relationship officer.
Marketing.
Then later on I became a relationship manager. I was at the Tudu branch with my boss Raymond Newman. It was a very interesting area because, as I said, banking ethics helped me in my political career. In the banking industry, things were structured. It's structured. So you have to come to work at 8 or 7:30 because the branch will open at 7. We have prayers at 7:20. It should open by 8 o'clock. The branch will be opened. And the branch manager was quite interesting. He normally will give you the keys and says, you keep the key. So once you have the key, you have to come by 6:37 because then you have to come for the operation staff to go to the votes, pick up cash, deal with their tails and all those things. So it kept that on our toes. So one thing that I learned at the banking sector was one, timeliness. Time consciousness was very important. 2 was an opportunity to be articulate, because as a relationship officer or a manager, I should write my own credit paper. So if a customer wants a loan, I did the credit paper, did the analysis, and I had to go to and defend it. So when you go, you can meet the board to defend your credit score or credit paper. So you have to develop the skill of speaking, and that also helped me
making out your case.
Making out your case for them to grant you and all that. Yes, and then everybody has a portfolio, and your portfolio, you have about 2 or 3 customers that control about 80% of your funds. How to manage such a person? How the client who was, the branch belonged to her, because her money controlled 80%. And the funny thing, Collins Owen, no airport, bring me 30,000.
That's it.
How you get the 30,000 to the airport, that is your matter. But you have to find a way of getting the money to that branch. He calls you, I want to transfer money to my daughter in the UK. What is it? You give you the information. We don't have, we are having issues with our treasury department. She doesn't want to even listen to that. If you cannot do it, I'm coming for my money.
That's all.
There's somebody else who can do it for you. So it also gave me an opportunity to learn how to treat people, how to manage people.
Wow.
Yes. And then as captain of the University of Ghana soccer team, the interesting thing about the team was that we had a team of 25 players, representative of Ghana. Ghana's, Ewes, Shantis, Fafres, everybody. So the entire team was made up of people with different backgrounds, different thinking, different upbringing, and as a captain I was supposed to manage them. And football, I always say, no player can pick the ball and dribble everybody and go and score. So you need teamwork. You need to position yourself. Football, I always tell people, it's said that you need to be here for you to get the pass. Once you get the pass, the one who gave you the pass must move diagonally to another empty space for you to give the ball back to him. So you learn all these things. I learned it whilst I was a captain of the University of Ghana soccer team. So leadership, it took me a gradual process.
As I'm sitting here listening to you talk, I can't tell you how, what's the word I'm looking for? Because I have had the banking experience, and it was one of the most grueling times of my life. People never really give that sector that credit. It's very serious discipline.
Absolutely.
And I've never quite framed it in my mind like that. I've never looked on that time as a time of training. I always thought of it as a time of stress.
No. It was, for me, it's really helped me shape, because my branch manager Raymond Newman used to do, college, you have to represent me here. Some economy of to do. I explained the matters, and the branch, the MD and the consultant sat there, and immediately I finished, he was like, did you say you were a relationship manager? And I said, yes, please. He said, okay, that's good. So I thank her all the time, because I feel that opportunity also helped me to gather a momentum.
But you did with it what you did with it.
Yes.
Somebody else given the same opportunity might not have used the opportunity the way that you did.
Yes. So that helped me a lot. And in my political career, people management. People management. It's a key thing that everybody must learn if you want to go far in politics. How to manage the expectations of people. How to manage. I mean, to be very frank with you, it's very difficult. Sometimes you get up in the morning, human as you are, you're not happy. You just want to be alone. You just want to.
Not today, Satan.
Not today. You just want to be alone.
And not today.
And you get a call in the morning. I have had a call from a constituent at 4 a.m. When I picked up, you know what he said? Matisemo MPC from my mom fans. Now me check it out.
Wow.
Yeah. And then and then he just dropped it.
Wow.
And then he dropped it.
4 a.m.
4 a.m. And he just dropped it.
Wow.
Yes. All he wanted to check was whether I'm one of the.
And he couldn't check at 7 o'clock in the morning.
He wanted just whether I'm one of the usual politicians that he knows. Someone from a call until check it.
Wow.
And today, if you go to my constituency, if you tell anybody in my constituency that my friend MP and I want to frame it back, they will laugh at you. Yes. Everybody knows that one of my strengths is that I'll always make time to call you back, send a text to you that I'm in a meeting. When I finish, I'll call you back.
Let me tell you something. There's, I don't know if I've told you this before. It's one of the things that really drew me to you, and it's just human respect. Right, I watch you. I mean, we get opportunity to watch all of you on TV, debating with other people, being interviewed here and there. But you stand out.
Thank you.
Promise you stand out. There's just some human dignity that you give the next person.
So you see, listen, I know where I come from. I was born in a village through the benevolence of an uncle. Can you imagine if I didn't have a kandapa? I wouldn't be here. Because I wouldn't have gone to school anyway. So, growing up, I gained excitement in politics at a very young age because of my uncle. So from secondary school, I used to go with him to the constituency and all that. Listen, somebody like Pratt, somebody like Kwabre, somebody like Mensah Bonsu. Listen, I got a shock of my life when at the first finance committee meeting, Mr. Mensah Bonsu referred to me as colleague. All he said was, colleagues. Then it dawned on me that my Mr. Mensah is referring to me as a colleague. That was a shock of my life. So you see, I don't take certain things for granted. I don't. And I got one advice from somebody, and it has guided me throughout. He said, you can be born today. You can grow to be wiser than somebody who's older than you. You can grow to be richer than somebody who's older than you. In fact, you can even have more wives than somebody who's older than you. You can be anything more than somebody who's older than you. There's one thing that you can never be better than the person. You can never be older than him. That alone should tell you that that person has gone through a certain process before you got there. That should tell you that you should always at any point in time give respect. So I go on sets with Pratt. This is someone I started listening to in 1998 when I came of age, and I started really listening to radio. Don't forget that Pratt has been doing this in the 70s, 80s, but I really got to begin to listen to them, because my uncle used to go to Crossfire on Joy. It was a very heated program. Crossfire, Kandapa, Tony Edu, and I used to listen to those sessions. So for me, after 15 years, or let's say from 2000 to 2020, came to Palace, but 20 years. For me, after 20 years later, to have an opportunity to sit with Pratt and attempt to have a debate with him is enough. You'll be, excuse my language, you'll be foolish to think that you are wiser or more clever than he is. Sometimes Uncle makes mistake.
Of course.
Your ability to rebut and the way you go about the rebuttal will tell him whether you are respectful or not.
And the viewer.
And there's a gentleman who comes to the studio without any book. So it is possible that he will make a mistake with the figure. But I sit in finance committee and I have the budget. So if Uncle says the deficit was 7% and the budget says it was 5%, he's not lying. It's just an oversight. So my rebuttal to him is to draw his attention to the budget and inform him that the minister mentioned a different figure, and not to tell him that he's a liar. Control, yeah. No, it's not to tell him that he's a liar. It's just an oversight. And he's always been gracious to accept when you correct him and say, okay, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. To the viewer, I've informed the viewer of the correct figure, but I've gained the respect of Uncle
and the viewer.
So yes, I get people, of course, you get party people not happy. It's normal. I didn't know one can want to answer. No, I didn't know one can want to answer. Kubako, I don't know one can want to answer any other person, But my point has always been, I can make my point without being offensive, and I've always done that for the past 4 years. I've defended my party strongly, but in a more decorous, more respectful manner, without injuring my co-panelists. I always believe that always allow the viewers to decide. Put out your points. Allow them to decide. I'm telling you, the viewers are very intelligent people, more intelligent than some of us, very professionals, who listen to what we do and what we say all the time. Allow them to take the decision as to whether you are saying the right thing or not. But there's absolutely never make a mistake to go ballistic and insult your panelists or anything. You don't disagree with him. I've been on so many shows with Anguisi that I've disagreed with him, but I do so in a very respectful manner, and I think it's an advice to especially the young ones. I mean, Kwesi gave me an advice one time on Peace FM. Somebody had had called somebody on phone, and so after the program, Kwesi said, call it the very day you forget that you are speaking to just 5 people, which is the number of people in the studio. The very day you forget that you are speaking to millions of people and think that you are just having a discussion with just these 5 people, that is the day you end your political communication. So the guy who called in, not dream 97, but he doesn't know that he is speaking to millions of people.
Millions of people.
Wow.
Wow. For me, it's a mark of one, respect for yourself, and then respect for the viewer. That and as I sit in my house and I'm watching you and I experience the respect that you have for yourself, because at the end of the day, your interest is me. And making sure that I am informed and making sure that I learn something from the conversation. Absolutely. I get, sometimes it feels as though as you sit there, you forget, and it's some war between the two of you. When I'm thinking about how to buy kinky and fish, and I'm like, do these people not realize that my livelihood depends on you? That's what I'm saying. So when I see somebody who respects himself and respects me, and make sure that the dialogue is productive, I give the respect back. And I think I've told you this before.
Yes, I think
that you are one of my favorites.
Yes.
I think you are my favorite now. Let me just say that and say thank you to you for that, because a lot of the young people come in and it's, let me go and make a name for myself quickly, and the more I insult, the more popular I get. But I think you've proven everybody wrong.
Yeah, you don't need to insult to make
everybody
your
point.
Wrong. No, absolutely, you don't need to insult to make your point.
Because you went straight to the Ministry of Energy.
Yes, because a lot of people think. Funny enough, people, when I make comment on TV, people think, hey, sometimes I disagree with my government, and I say, oh, I think we could have done it this way. People think that will offend my party. No,
it didn't.
It didn't offend my party. No, it didn't.
I didn't see your appointments coming.
Well,
I didn't see it coming.
I didn't see it coming myself. Seriously, I was shocked. I mean, you see, let me make this point. I always believe in meritocracy. So you get a lot of people say, now, I mean, tell who last up, tell who Jubilee. Oh ma, you don't. What am I coming to do? Jubilee. If the president wants to see me, I'll come there. If I want to have a discussion with him, I'll come there. But I was not in the habit of going there to seek
lobbying. I'm here. Look at me.
No. So I never did that. In fact, when I got a call that the president wants to see me, I was taken aback. I was like, president wants to see me at 9 o'clock. Well, let's see what happens. It was later on when I got to the chamber that rumors were trickling in that the president wants to do some changes. Even that, I still kept my cool. And then it was when I met him that he said, this is what he intends to do, and that he will do it the next day. But that didn't want it to be a surprise to me. So he's informing me before he makes the announcement. Right. Then I thanked him.
Right.
So it tells you that sometimes whatever you do as a politician, young guy, people are watching. People are watching. I didn't lobby for it. I didn't go to him to ask for it. I didn't go to anybody close to him to ask for it. But it told me one thing, that just do everything you are doing to the best of your ability, and that one day you'll be noticed.
My producer are here. I know they are trying to signal me, but they should calm down. I need to ask about this one first. This lobbying thing, how does it work? Because right now we are hearing about lobbying. This is the time for lobbying. Charlie, people are lobbying. Even if people are lobbying me, I'm like, lobbying is my producers are being lobbied.
Of course, I mean, so everybody knows.
How does it work?
Everybody knows Kwesi, or my uncle Kwesi is a popular figure in Ghana.
Right.
He's known to a lot of the prominent people in Ghana. So somebody can come to Kwesi and say, so we share big man, nothing come over by the meeting. Those are kind of things. Just mention
and those
to him.
Can work, because I thought that ultimately is the president who makes the decision.
But the president does not know everybody, doesn't know anything. Can you imagine Kwesi recommends you personally to the president, tells the president that I've known this guy, I think it can help. The president may not take his advice, but I think he'll take it.
Or at least he'll look out for you.
Yeah, he'll think about it. So that's the lobbying thing. You get people who are closer to where the appointing authority is to get your name mentioned somewhere. But I think that one of the ways to lobby is to perform diligently on your own and allow the process to flow. I tell you, your name will pop up and you'll be surprised. I've seen a name, a young guy from Ashanti region who has made works in housing. He was a deputy defense under GM. But after GM lost, he went off. Nobody, no radio, we don't see him anywhere. But he has been appointed a minister. It tells you that he probably would have been doing something that is not known to you, but known to the appointing authority. And he has played that role diligently. That is what has earned him a promotion now to be a minister. And interestingly now, I've realized that all the ministers were deputies. And GM's time, almost all of them were deputies. So it's not a reset, it's an upgrade. Don't worry.
Absolute upgrade. oh, there's another one that I want to ask for. Hold on, guys. Hold on. So you spoke about being an assembly member.
Yes.
This is after you had worked in a bank.
Yes. So
bank staff then assembly family.
So when I started joining my uncle to the constituency from 2001 2002, truth is that I began to develop the excitement about politics.
From watching your uncle
and then going with him and seeing what is going on. So right after school, and so in 2004, while I was at the university, I went back to become a polling agent for him. He was then an MP. Then in 2008, again I went back to become a polling agent. But because I used to frequent the constituency very well, everybody knew me now. I mean, I was so popular within that enclave. So by 2010, I decided then, let me contest as an assemblyman. I went and I won. So what I used to do, and I keep telling a lot of the young ones, do you know that I used to travel from here to the constituency every 2 weeks? I did that for 10 years. Then I didn't have a car. So right after work at Tudu, on Friday, I go straight to the VIP station, pick a bus, be in the VIP. Sometimes you leave there around 11 p.m., get to Kumasi around 2-3 a.m., stay around the vicinity for some time, just be walking around at the station, because the trotro that goes to my constituency will only depart at 5 a.m. Stay there for some time before I join the trotro back to my constituency, and I did that for 10 years.
Wow.
10 years.
So what bank were you working at? You were still at Fidelity at this time.
Yes.
Did you have a girlfriend?
Oh, then I did.
You had a girlfriend?
Yes, yeah, my wife. Yes, my wife. I met my wife in 2011. Yes. So I used to I was like getting excited about the people thing. You know, you go and people will come and basic things, you know, right. They're asking you about, and that assemblyman really helped me, because I became the chair of the finance committee of the assembly. Wow. That gave me an opportunity to know exactly each problem in each electoral area. So during my campaign in 2020, when I come to your electoral area and you ask me a question,
you know
I will
what
speak
to
to
say. You're speaking my language.
So I believe in apprenticeship.
Right.
I've always said this.
Right.
That it is always important to grow.
Work your way from the bottom.
So from polling agent, assemblyman, constituency executive.
Constituency executive?
Yes, I was the constituency treasurer, financial secretary. Because then I had to understand the politics, the internal politics, the dynamics. So that position gave me an opportunity to be present at every executive committee meeting, understand the polling station system. I understood everything. Already gained an insight into the problems in each electoral area as an assemblyman, and having an understanding of the internal politics. I knew I was ready for MP. Then in 2020 I tried and I won.
One touch.
Because
you've already done the work.
Yes, I'm saying that I knew the processes.
Right.
Yes. And of course, I mean, I can't take my uncle out. Of course, although he deliberately decided not to involve himself in my primaries. But of course, sometimes you go somewhere and say, oh, can't what I say. So that the name also assisted me, although I put in a lot of effort. But of course, you get that kind of support with his name going forward. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, we are going to take a break.
All right.
When we come back, and tell me how you met your wife, what you said to her, your favorite food, because we are going to dance. Viewers, the good stuff is when we come back from the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. I am in conversation with my favorite MP right now. The Honorable Collins Adomako-Mensah. He is MP for Afigya, Kwabre North constituency. Honorable.
Yes, madam.
Your wife.
I call it the IGP.
The IGP.
Yes, IGP. She's in charge of the house.
She's large and in charge.
Yeah. If you make a mistake, she'll arrest you. So she's in charge of the house. And you know, the kind of job we do, you need my type of wife. Very reflective of issues, very calm. Very calm, yeah, because really, I mean, during the election, I spent close to 2 months in the constituency. You don't see her, you see the kids. My first election, she was pregnant with my third child in 2020. She had just given birth when I was going for my primaries. You can imagine the tension. You know, so you need somebody who is strong and who understands the politics and the fact that you spend more time with your constituents. You know, so I'm happy that I found her.
She understands that her rival is the constituency.
The constituency. She
and the constituency comes first.
Yeah. Oh no, my
she does.
No, family is family.
That's good.
Family is family. Family is family. I mean,
that's good.
At the end of the day, you come back to your family.
Right.
So family is important.
Right.
Yeah. I make sure that things are sober at home. You know, so she doesn't think too much.
So what kind of husband are you? Romantic?
No, Ashantis are not normally romantic. Don't worry. No, stop that.
Oh, not right.
No.
Oh, wonderful.
No, Ashantis the romance you are talking about, I don't know. Say in the morning, sorry, I love you, Miss Adam. Oh, Charlie.
Wonderful. So what do you do?
Me and a certain man I know, we don't do that.
You mean a certain man we know?
We know. Oh, but of course, I mean, I love my wife, obviously, my kids, my daughter, Jesus. I mean, everybody knows now that if you want to get me, you get my daughter. So I know my wife intentionally will go somewhere and say, baby, I see up away, you know, because they know that I can't say no to baby. And then Kwame and Pakwesi. Yes, I do my best to be romantic. Yeah, I do my best.
You can do better.
It's not easy, but
I try.
You can
do better.
Oh, I try. You give peg here and there.
Then you're not bad.
I'm not like somebody.
Yes. You're not bad at all. Yeah. Your mom's children, how many are you?
You're three?
Yeah,
my elder sister and younger sister. So I'm in the middle.
Right. You're sandwiched in between.
They're sandwiched in between them.
Right.
Yeah, two
you have good
sisters.
relationships with them?
Very good relationship with them.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh
excellent relationship with them.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Really, just 2 days ago, I was having a chat with her. The younger Maame is with the foreign service, so she's at South Africa.
She's in South Africa.
Mission, yeah.
Oh, wow.
You know, the foreign service, they go for this 4 years.
Yes.
I think she'll be back next year. Yeah.
Right. And your mom?
Oh, my mom, yes. I remember when I was courting my wife. We went for before I married, we went for this counseling thing, and then the counselor was like, between your mom and your wife, would you like? I didn't even allow him to finish. I said, my mom. She's my mom. This is a single mother.
Right.
You know, single mother.
Right. Will this be the single mother you're talking about?
Yeah.
Mommy, thank you so much. Mommy, please sit.
Oh, really interesting. Oh, nice.
Mommy, Kwabre. She's here.
Yes. This caught me off guard. Yes. Right. So, you know, my mom is my mom.
Right.
Yeah, she's done her best for me.
Absolutely.
Yes, I think it's now my turn to do my best for her, and I think I'm on course.
Are you doing your best for her? Let me hear from mommy.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh, this is a pleasant surprise.
Oh, yes.
It's very best. Mommy, tell us more. Tell us about Honorable.
Can you express yourself in any language?
Oh, you okay? Oh, you okay?
Oh, yeah, dear.
Oh, you know. Yeah, maybe so.
Yes. And it's when you just want to Greek, no?
Oh, yes. Yes.
A Greek, no?
Debbie.
That's it. And I'm sure there's something you might have wanted to say to her. Say to her. She's here.
Mom, I always say words fail me sometimes. How do you thank her?
Right.
You know, sometimes when I go somewhere and I'm thanking people, I don't thank her. Not because I don't recognize her, but I just feel thanking her is not enough. So you just leave it to God. I always pray that God gives her a long
and sorry, would this be the missus that you were talking about? And your sister? Please come in. Please come. You're welcome. Please come in.
This is an interesting surprise. Yes.
Please come in. Oh, the gentleman can stand in the back. Somebody can stand in the other side for me as well. Thank you. It's a full house. Please let me do the introduction. Please, who's tiles up here? Hey. Please, who is our sister Juliet Oponwusu? Hey. Mrs. Janet Adomako, IGP. IGP is here. Of course, Madam Isabella Kandapa. Mommy, that's Sibebre. And then there's Pablo. Who is Pablo? Original Pablo is here. Daddy, please, how about you? Hey, we have the same name. Yeah, welcome. Yeah, welcome. I think I'll pass the microphone and we can all say something to Honorable. Mommy, Patrick, me know best starting.
Oh, you're real. Me banana.
Hey, Patrick, you can see it. Hey.
Me call up him the start here in me. No, yeah, I want. Very stubborn boy. But Yami Adum. Mama, what's the son, Mama? She said, Papa for Pratt. Me mum or the same, me many ways. You know the same. And your mama, as she said, Yami Adum. Papa for.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, that's how you be as mother.
And so that was it. I'm my favorite MP. Me checking the pan. IGP to him to me can you see it. Please let's hear from our big sister.
Juliet.
Yes.
Colleagues. To say the man can say start here. But he's a very interesting guy, seriously. He's been our baby because Yaya 3 he's the son amongst us. 2 girls and him. 80 akokro no kakra free ha ni join it. But ne etian because no hard.
Passion
Beira. Or the roll up. Oh, this up. But you know, he's been good. He's good.
Are you as proud of him as we are? The people who sit behind and watch
Very
him?
much proud because now you share don't know the my dear. But none of this you share. Though we saw it in him say he was very forceful and the very good thing about him Osiade when my dear nyame che no sa achede no enti and we are so proud say in all this it has ended well.
Amen. Please pass the phone.
Some academy can meaning time yet boy as Maame or can Honorable Collins or my boss or my brother or my papa. 2007 if I'm not mistaken, 2007 2008 this year or one fail, but when you're not 2007 up to date or you papa. So what could they nimpa on the best? So I can read the new that say make sure more say or she knew no be yam. Okay. Oh nimpa nyene chimko na sako outside owa badai papa mena nanto onyi minimum. Some kind of mechanism can't be free in India. But no matter how you need back, you never answer.
Yeah, that's it. IGP, I'm reserving you for last. So let's come to Pablo.
Family sending me. This is my mother. You may come. Obey them. You may down for the castle. Or your mom. And yet that is. Mommy, only you. Be America. Oh yeah, but oh what about it? Oh what about it? No year, no want a dose. To me, the empire may boss it. Yamingusu on Shram, no bonny hoba, no onyinche.
Amen.
Yeah, time for folk me plan against it on all.
Amen.
All right. So me da say menya konye. So we cap to share 2004 University of Ghana.
2004. I thought 2007 was. Hey.
2004 University of Ghana na bobo na Janet so hobby, and so I say brothers, but I took the part of religion. It's my best of Assemblies of God. He has taken the part of politics. On my knees here, catch a problem. Only if me born pie mobia, he's the one. Come in pie and say one to be president of Ghana. Koni pa unimu. Oya de mo en fan ho. Me wa de my problem be sponsor bibia wa mantwa wan sidio. Inti pamanfu politics na dirty ntia. I don't know any dirty. The bia me canon Bible. You better have a friend capital. Me worry. Nyame ibi lusu kura odie befem. Because ibi lusu para odie befem. Ampa nyame ne fem. enti na doye na ho brasie banifie na ne maame ye aduane ameza ton ware ye ni e hamo on started from Sterling o jo lo adwuma bi o tese no no wele mo jamenti ni abafie ye wie ni adwuma me ni tuga no me tese he has been a brother anti me be so for no if there's somebody I always pray for no o tu kwan ko US me ni di nachi because nipa no so anfa be Ghana mampanyi a be ha adwene ti me bom pe so binyina che na nyansa nyam de duane mu no akoso ekese because we star but Ghana for nyam star no but ebi omo ni ebi because we just for am pay se me ba na mamuna mu se de waye no the brother ntase so nti nyankopon enkura na maye because ye namfo ni nyina ye kase ye ka obia no legonwa obobo a capito mbo anada ye tu plan ye niska we piska mo bia ye chiska oni de me yakwa on the run ono ngwa ne dio anyway but don't complain it is such a person ana unku media I will sacrifice my all to make sure say the nyamia kan mama na babo tikarito anisha no nyakese
look right
we turned into a
right
because conversing about your couple they are coming. You just have to find something because on te say na omaba ebi oba there was one Butros and another interesting guy of benum kokokra osme kwechre baba you know he was always with his friends. He never left them. They also never left him.
Amen. Yeah, the man is starting. To be see the IGPA Oh, any language.
I'm the last.
Yes.
Definitely not the last, but the first two.
Mrs. Please.
Okay, I think everyone has said so much about Collins. If you are looking from behind, you would think we're just praising him because he's here, or we're just doing it for the cameras. But as I sit here, it's too much. He is everything. He's everything you can have. I met Collins in 2009. We were on campus together, but I never met him. He was friends with some other friends, and so after school I met him again to my friend. And then that's 2009. I went to Ibri Girls. He was in Persec, so there's this connection already. So we met. The first time he saw me, we just clicked. I'm a very, very quiet person, reserved. I don't even make friends, but I spoke with him the next day or two. He called and I was like, this guy is different. So he's very forward. So I was like, hey, let me give him a try. And I have never regretted. He's everything. Responsible. Just name it. He's down to earth. He loves everyone, no matter where you are coming from. Sometimes it's so much that you might want to complain, but I've come to realize that he is so good.
This is who he
is. This is who he is. Yeah. So I've tried to also adjust, and then everything has been good. When I met him too, he was this mommy's boy, mommy's person. He loves his mommy. If I love and there's one trait I loved, and I knew that no, this is it for me. So Collins, we are grateful. You are just everything, and we sit here and say thank you very much. You've been all for us, my family and everyone. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Honorable.
Yes, so you surprised me on set. I didn't know you were bringing my mother. And then my sister said, Pablo, my very good friend from Abelempe, and Abdullah, pastor. We're in the same University of Ghana soccer team. We used to be rivals because he was in Sabah Hall and I was in Commonwealth Hall. So when there's a match between Commonwealth Hall and Sabah, we used to be rivals. But we clicked because we're both Kumasi boys, you know, and I'm happy to see him. It's a very good surprise. Happy to see him. We speak a lot on phone, but I'm happy to see him. Aotre, my driver, has been with me since I've known him since 2007. Sterling, where I did my national service, as I said, he was then a driver there, and we've been friends since that time. And when I became a member of parliament, I asked him to join the team, and I'm happy. My mom, as I said, words failed me, so my sister Julie and Angela, Mom Benahu is not here. I'm sure wherever she is, she's excited. So thank you. Thank you,
Honorable. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I mean, we watch from afar, and you know, we can tell the kind of person that you are. It seems like it's just TV, but when you see a good person, you can tell. There's just something about the person. You know, the humanity, the humility of spirit, you know, the way that he interacts with other people. You can tell. The first time I saw you, I told you, I was like, Honorable, you've conquered all my favorites, so now you're just like my favorite, right? And it's just the way I watch you engage. But sitting here and experiencing the love in the studio, I see Mommy crying, I see Mrs. crying, I see your friends crying, I see the way your sister was just touching you small. I see you yourself, you know, almost drawn to tears, and I realized that yes, you know, they say that politics is dirty and dirty people go into politics, but no, there are some good ones. There are some good ones. So thank you, Honorable. Thank you for being that light, and we hope that you continue to be that person. If Ghana will move forward, it's good people that will take us forward. So thank you. But we won't live without dancing. Mommy, I have your permission. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. This has been a show. Honorable. Thank you so much for coming. Damasi Bebre. Pacho, Mungosun Don why? Yes, will be the backbone that he needs to be the best that he can be for the rest of us. Thank you for watching. This has been a show. I hope that if for nothing at all, this show would encourage you, to be the best that you can be, the best son, the best brother, the best husband, the best friend, the best politician, so that all of us can have a great life. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye.
Truly African. This week at Kwabre, he is the king of prime time, Ghana's undisputed entertainment laureate, and still the youngest old man in Ghana. Put your hands together, show some love for the indefatigable KSM Show.
Well, you can notice my hand is in this bandage, but let me tell you a short story of this hand even before we start. Otherwise, during the program, we're going to be watching, what happened to the hand, what happened to that? Let me explain. I'm up there, I'm 68. But you guys, you call me the youngest old man. So I think it has gotten to me. I actually thought I was a young man. So I want to play tennis, man. And my partner, 35 years old, he directs the program. Charlie, I always say the guy beat me. He whipped my ass, man. He whipped my ass, man. And there was a point I said, yes, boss, that's what I call. I said, yes, boss, go easy, small. You 35, 68, why you beating? It's okay. He said, let's play one more game. I said, why? He said, I know I'm beating you, but you know what? I want the margin. It's the margin. I want a big margin. She said, today we are here today, and it's the first show for 2025. So I'm so glad I'm starting the show on such a solid, powerful note, folks. My guest here